Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Achmad Akbar Rizky. I'm from Physical Education International Class 2019. On this occasion, I will explain about attitudes to sport. The first definition of attitude. What is an attitude and what components make up an attitude? Attitude is a view held by an individual towards an attitude object. This existence of an attitude predisposes the person to behave in a certain way towards the attitude object. Attitudes are multidimensional from knowledge, emotion, and behavior intention. Okay. And this section is attitude in sport. Athlete may have a negative attitude towards weight training, likely to train in a half-hearted manner, leading to plateauing. And in footballer may have a negative attitude towards a particular official, change their behavior towards them, disagreeing and arguing. This attitude could stem from a previous encounter. Does this mean that the player will have the same attitude to all officials? Unlikely, as attitudes tend to specific rather than global. Attitude can lead to a prejudice forming. And the next slide is social norms. People are often told to change their attitude if it is not approved of, if it is not helpful. NCPE encourages schools to instill positive attitudes towards sport and PE. Unfortunately, it doesn't always suggest way to achieve this. In social norms, unwritten rules about your attitude, values, behavior, or beliefs help control behavior based on consensus. Enough people believe them, so they are true. Can lead to social acceptance or disapproval. And the next, attitude components. There are three parts of attitude components. And the first is cognitive, the second is affective, and the third is behavioral. The first, cognitive component. What we know and believe about the object. And second, affective component. How we feel about the object. And the last, how we respond to or intend to respond to the object. This is a behavioral component. Example is the part of attitude components. The first is cognitive. Example, hockey player may understand that training will improve their performance. And the next is affective. Example, the hockey player enjoying the feeling of improved fitness during the game. And the last is behavioral. Plan their session and take part it to their best ability in hockey player. Okay, next. Next is understanding the components. It is a natural assumption that if our cognitive and associative components are in agreement, then we will behave according to this. However, this is not always the case. Young people may realize that exercise is good for them and enjoy it when they are taking part, but may not choose to take part voluntarily. Fisbin and Azelin. suggests that to predict behavior, a high degree of specificity of both attitude and behavior components is required. This is a cognitive consonant. An intention to train for a specific event gives more predictability than just a general intention to train. This is a predicting behavior. A stated intention to behave in a certain way was found to be a strong predictor of actual behavior. Attitude towards behavior and generally accepted beliefs. This is a normative belief, but contribute towards predictability of behavior. Sample. A teenage girl may appreciate the benefits of training and enjoy it, but it may conflict with the social norms of her peer group. To encourage performance to behave in accordance with a set of general values and their own attitudes, you must ensure that, first, they understand the specific goals of the session. The second, they have a positive experience at the session. And the last, any negative attitudes or experience are recognized and dealt with. And the next slide is model of predicting behavior. First, beliefs about consequence of behavior. After that, attitude towards behavior. The third, intention to perform behavior and become a behavior in your life. And other way, normative beliefs about behavior, and then subjective norm concerning behavior. And the third, same with the first way, is intention to perform behavior and become a behavior in your life. The next is attitude formation. Attitudes are formed by experience and learning, influenced by a number of factors. The first factor is peer groups. Acceptance within a group can rest on sharing similar attitudes, can help to create a sense of identity, higher degrees of cohesion. And second is conditioning. Rewards will strengthen existing attitudes, praise for training hard. And the third, socialization. Learn from significant others, parents, teacher, coaches, role models, and the media. Attitude must be socialization in your life, in your family, and many other. And after that, familiarity. The more experience someone has with an object, the more likely the attitude will be positive, taken to sport mates at a young age. Forming a good attitude. Why? Why do one positive attitudes? This is a reason. The first, positive cognitive and affective make positive behavior more likely. If you if you have positive cognitive and affective in your mindset, in your body, your behavior more likely like that. And the second, socially value, abiding by perceived norms. And the third, needed to become an elite performer. If your attitude is positive, your performance many like a good performer. And the fourth, Can help coaches help to improve group dynamics. If you have a positive attitudes, you can help your coach to improve in your group dynamics. And after that is change attitudes. There are two ways to changing attitudes in some people, in many people. There are two ways. Accepting that certain positive attitudes are beneficial for elite performance. We may need to understand how to change an unwanted attitude. There are two ways. And the first is persuasive communication, and the second is cognitive dissonance. The first will explain persuasive communication. Exactly as it sounds, try to influence the attitude of a performer by discussion, argument, or debate. Main factor in success of persuasive communication, the first is the persuader, and the second is the message, and the third is the receiver. Persuader. Persuader must be status in the eyes of the performer. And after that, popularity, role model status. The third, credibility, linked to feeling of trustworthiness. And the fourth, social background, linked to credibility. The second factor is message. Accuracy, is it correct? Is it start with confidence and enthusiasm? And the third is clarity, argument well constructed or logical. And the fourth, does it appeal to intellect or emotions, sense of duty or responsibility? And the third factor is receiver. Are they ready for the message? Understand the argument? If you become a receiver, you must be understand your argument and ready for a message. How strongly held is the current attitude? Why don't they hold it? And the last, are they motivated to change or at least open the possibility? If you become a receiver, you must can be a motivate other people and many people, and you must become a role model in this session. And the second way to change the attitude is cognitive dissonance. Individuals like to be consistent in what they do, feel, and believe. The first, if something new goes against this or they encounter new knowledge or feelings, they feel uncomfortable. They feel dissonance. And second, motivates individuals to reduce discomfort by changing their existing attitude or acquiring new ones. So, to change an attitude, you can ensure that one of three components is inconsistent with the others, thereby creating dissonance. And next slide is example of cognitive dissonance. A group of your 10 boys are told that this term they will be doing dance, but the group have a poor attitude towards it and is being uncooperative. Explaining their attitude. The first, cognitive. They know dance is not highly thought of by their peers. Maybe their dad has made comments at the TV. The second is affective. Tried it before and not enjoyed or been unsuccessful. And last, behavioral. Refusing to try it now, even if they have not before. and we must change their attitude. Example, cognitive. Change their knowledge of dance. Bring in a dancer to demonstrate modern and popular dance. Show all male dance group and emphasize the necessary components of fitness needed. Links to strength and stamina. And second is affective. Create a positive situation. You must create a positive situation whatever. Choose music they will like. Keep difficulty at a low level to guarantee success and lots of positive reinforcements. And the last is behavioral, using rewards and incentive to get them to have a goal. Okay, and the last is evaluation. In evaluation, I will explain about the first, persuasive communication. Common sense way of getting someone to adopt a more positive attitude. Can fail in light of strongly held beliefs. The cognitive dissonance. Critic kills for being too simplistic. Doesn't take into account the individual's motivation and need for consistency, but are useful for understanding why negative attitude may have harm. Are useful for giving an insight into what factors should be considered for changing an attitude. The conclusion, however, attitude change is a long process with no guarantee of success. If you want a good attitude, you must be a process and not simplicity. And in your life, you must be a good people and good attitude. Okay, thank you for your attention. This is my presentation about attitude this part. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.